Hello again, this is Evan Arkin,
And this is Caleb Myers filling in for Greg Pilliquin.
and we're about to witness a match between Daysean Innocenti and Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson playing his mono-red aggro deck.
Yep, big fan of the aggro, Stephen Thompson.
And Daysean is on 4 color frights. Again, that is French Reanimator, French Unburial Rights, made originally by the French team at Pro Tour Barcelona, I believe it was. And this deck is just all about reanimation strategy. Yep. Another one of the videos that will go up in this batch will showed a kind of
Bryant.
a junk reanimation mid-range strategy from Charles Bryant, which wasn't as focused on reanimating.
Yep.
In fact, he didn't reanimate anything during that match.
Nope. He did not draw a single reanimation spell and very few targets.
Yeah, but 4-color reanimator is really all about reanimating. It's a really kind of slow if you're not doing reanimating.
Yeah.
It has 4 Thrag Tests in the deck, which is obviously very good.
It has 8 enablers, or 12 enablers.
12 enablers. It's got 4 Faithless Looting, 4 Mulch, 4 Grizzly Salvage.
Yep.
And
all
we're
fantastic.
Off to the races. I think Daysean is on the play.
Yep. I see
Dreadbore, Thrag Tusk.
2 lands and a Mulch. That seems like a reasonable hand.
Yeah, no, certainly it is. Tackler, and he's going to unleash it. Aggressive start from the red player. This is not the best matchup for the Frights deck, especially game 1.
Absolutely not.
It's mono red is about a turn 4 or 5 Goldfish.
Yep.
And Frights is about a turn 4 or 5 do anything deck. So you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Despite the fact that he hit a bunch of lands off that Mulch, I think he'd much rather have put a decent-sized creature in his graveyard.
He's got
seen an Unburial Rights.
Yeah, he's got. He just discarded Angel though, to.
That's a good start.
His end step, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Oh man, here we go.
Yeah, we're off to the races.
Yep. Down to 16.
It's a Deathrite Shaman that could buy him a little time.
Yeah, it's there's a few different builds with the Frights deck. Some have main deck Deathrite Shamans.
Ooh.
Some
Do you
don't.
like this Mulch here?
I didn't see if he had black mana for the Dreadbore.
For the Dreadbore?
He puts a Lingering Souls and a Thrag Tusk in the graveyard.
So I'd imagine his line is play some green source
play
here.
Like is it a Rootbound Crag and plays Deathrite Shaman?
And then maybe discard a land.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No discards.
That's unfortunate, because he could be on Thrag Test next turn if he had a land to discard here.
Because then Deathrite Shaman would become a mana dork and ramp him up.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Tag for 4. One of the interesting interactions in this matchup is actually Ash Zealot punishing the reanimation deck for all of its flashback spells.
Ash Zealot really helped put this deck back on the map.
Yeah. And when I was testing against Mono Red, piloting that Frights deck, it was really awkward on turn 4 when I wanted to reanimate something and there were 2 Ash Zealots in play, and I just would take 6 to the face.
Yeah, that is unbelievably bad for you.
Yeah.
So I think we're still lacking a black source here.
Yep. Which is one of the interesting things about the deck. With it's no basic lands in this deck.
Right.
Which is something a couple of my testing partners figured out, that Ghost Quarter turns into Strip Mine.
Yep. Okay, so we see another Deathrite Shaman come down, a handful of lands, Thrag Tusk, and
that's about it. Dreadbore, Thrag Tusk, and lands.
Yep.
So
Stephen Thompson has 12.
If Daysean can just chump block here and then play a Thrag Tusk, he's not in the worst position.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's the chump block, take 2.
Right line goes to 10.
Statistically speaking, you really want to stabilize at 8 or more life.
There's the Brimstone Volley.
Down to 5.
That's huge.
Alright, draws his Crater of Behemoth. Not what you want to be doing. Well, not like you had a choice. Yeah. But that's not the best draw for him. So he's going to play a Clifftop Retreat here and
plays that Thrag Tusk. Buy himself a little bit of time here.
Maybe. What's that? The Hellrider is another card, a very scary card from the Mono Red deck.
Puts a pretty awful clock.
And Hellrider's applications just vary across the format, hitting Planeswalkers.
Absolutely. One of the few things that kills Jace very effectively
is Hellrider.
Yep. We see Stephen Thompson here. I see a Shred Freak.
I see a Hell Rider.
Rider. Brimstone Fall.
2 Brimstone Volleys.
My goodness.
My goodness, indeed.
Looks
How
like
best to
Daysean.
proceed?
Uphill battle.
And he's going to beat in. I think Daysean blocks the Ash Zealot.
Yep, absolutely.
Should block the Ash Zealot.
There we go. Correct blocks applied.
Take
4.
4. Down to 6. All right, Daysean,
still
you need
gonna
another
need something
Thrag
pretty
Tusk.
good here.
Faithless Looting, very good.
That's a good start.
It's a good start. Cast it. Draw 2.
Reveals.
He reveals the card.
I got good ones, bro.
Oh, but he drew a Thragtusk, so
We need to see a discard here first.
yeah. So he discards a Faithless Looting and a land.
Probably a Temple Garden.
Probably Temple Garden. There we go. Now he's gonna play his Sunpetal Grove and cast another Thragtusk.
There we go. Back up to 11.
11. I like that. I like it.
That's just what he needed.
Oh, I don't like that attack.
That attack is pretty bad.
Greedy. That's pretty greedy.
I don't think you can attack until you've stabilized against mono red.
And 11 is not stabilized.
Against most decks, that would be a reasonable life
because
total.
even at 11 here, all Steven has to do is attack with Suicide to both his guys. He loses 1, he Brimstones you to the face, and now you're within any burn spell range, really.
I think that'll put him to
Yeah, it's going to put him to 4, which is so dangerous against mono red because he could have Pillar Searing Spear.
Yep.
Searing Spear, Pillar.
Yep. Another Dread Boar with still 0 black sources.
Daysean probably regretting that attack now that
a little bit. Oh, we have it on Burial Rights.
Yeah, and what does he have? He does have an Angel Serenity in his graveyard. But something I learned when I was testing my Feist deck is you can reanimate an Angel all you want, but if you're less than 5 life, you're probably dead against mono red.
I think he discarded a land. He's got to discard that on Burial Rights, right?
I don't think he did because I think he already played his land for the turn.
No, he hasn't played a land this turn as far as I can tell.
Really? Then he just discarded a land and not on Burial Rights?
Yeah.
So he draws Thragtusk Angel Trinity, which is very good for him. He really needs to discard that on Burial Rights right now. He does not have a black source to hardcast it.
Yep, it's got to be on Burial Rights Angel here. Yeah. He shifted him to the front. Let's see if he figures this out.
On Burial Rights. And there's the Angel. Okay.
All right.
So he needs to survive 1 more turn, and then he should be in the driver's... Oh, again, attacking with the Thragtusk.
A little over-aggressive here.
Yeah, because if Stephen Thompson rips the land and plays his Hell Rider, that's really really bad for Daysean.
Yep. I think we are going to see a Brimstone Volley.
Yeah, so that's game.
Okay.
Oh, still had all those Brimstone Volleys.
3 Hell Riders and 3 Brimstone Volleys, he says.
That's a lot.
Look at these. Could have beat you this way, and this way, Stephen Thompson says.
Yep.
How do you like some soul in your wounds?
Patrick Chapin would be proud.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't get the reference, Patrick Chapin came out with a rap album about Magic the Gathering called The Gathering.
Yep.
One of his songs being about those players who tell you that they still had all of these when they beat you.
Yes.
Which is always just a fun experience.
Absolutely. My favorite beats are when my opponent tells me that it's okay that I lost because he could have beat me
no
5
matter what
ways.
You did.
Yeah. You had no outs, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
So what are we going to see out of the sideboards here?
Well, I happen to know that sideboard by heart.
Okay.
So he's got. It depends on which version he's running because we changed up a little bit, but he's got access to either Centaur Healers or Huntmasters more. Okay. He's got 2 Restoration Angels in his sideboard, which come in.
Yeah.
He's got Sever, which is a bit slow.
You see him shifting those...
Did he just take out Vault Angel? What was that
I
card?
hope not.
Because Vault is very good.
Seems like that's a good one. I see him shifting his Lingering Souls. Both reasonable and bad.
No, see, in this matchup, I like Lingering Souls a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, having played the deck, you really just want to buy time.
Right, absolutely. To the late game. You want to deal with their threats at a reasonable life total.
And even fogging them for a turn or 2 might be enough. So I always keep my Lingering Souls in against the aggro decks. Sideboarding in this matchup from Daysean's point of view, I usually took out like one of two of my different enablers. So I would took out a Faithless Looting, I took out a Mulch. Faithless Looting because turn 1 Faithless Looting always costs you 2 life off of Blood Crypt. You can't play it on turn 1 any other way.
Right.
And otherwise you're putting yourself off curve. So I would take out a Faithless Looting, I would take out a Mulch, I would take out one Unburial Rites.
Looks like I just saw him cut a Dreadbore and a Vault of the Archangels. That does not feel right to me.
No.
I see Huntmasters coming in.
Yep, so he has the Huntmasters on the board. So he cut Vault of the Archangel, which is...
I don't mind cutting a land.
But not Vault.
Not Vault. I would cut one of the colored lands.
One of the best ways to restabilize against aggro is you reanimate a fatty, and they can't burn it, and then you attack, and you activate your Vault and start gaining life.
Yeah.
I did that.
So from Steven's side,
in testing.
What kind of sideboard do you think we see here? Some sort of Trader's Instincts?
Probably not Zealous Conscripts because it's too expensive for
Yeah, I think Trader's Instincts is what we'd see here.
Yeah. Or potentially even the 3 casting cost one.
Which give Trample.
Trader's, what is that one?
Traitorous Blood.
That's right, Trader's Blood. I wanted to say that, but I wasn't really sure if I was correct.
Yeah, Traitorous Blood would actually be pretty reasonable because say he has Lingering Souls,
right?
Take a 3-egg test, give it Trample, get in there.
Yep.
Seems like a very good line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Steven's exact list, but I'm sure he's got some sideboard for this style of deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Daysean on the play. Friendly chatter, friendly banter between the players.
Okay.
Lingering Souls, Clifftop Retreat, Grizzly Salvage, Lingering Souls, and Faithless Looting. Is that a 1-land hand?
Nope, I see
Overgrown Tomb, it looks like.
Yep. Okay, we've got a Stonekirk Noble. That's going to be fairly big.
Fairly quickly.
Yeah, not going to be blocked for at least another turn.
Daysean playing correctly here. Little technical play note.
Don't play your lands.
Yeah, it's good to cast your spells before you play your lands, just to get cast your draw spells and your filtering spells like Faithless Looting, because you get as much extra information as possible about your hand before deciding what land to play. Takes 2 off the Blood Crypt to cast his second Faithless Looting.
It's interesting. I think you'd want a green source in play, right?
Well,
do you draw a Woodland Cemetery?
It depends. I don't necessarily disagree with this line. I think he's looking ahead a couple turns and realizing he's going to be hard casting Faithless Looting on 3 and then hopefully Huntmaster on 4, which
we see no 2-drop from Stephen Thompson.
No,
I take that back. We have a Tybalt.
And I was considering saying something about Tybalt as a sideboard card, but I just haven't seen it being played by the red deck, so I decided against it. But
this is an interesting card.
It is interesting.
I imagine it's just used as a draw 1, discard 1, burn your face for your hand.
Yeah, certainly an option for Steven against control decks.
Right.
Because
may have seen all that mulching game 1 and thought, hey, I can hit this guy for 7.
Yeah, that is something Tybalt does very well.
Yeah.
This is actually the first time I've seen Tybalt in play in a constructed game.
I am going to have to second that.
Yep.
I have actually played with him in Limited before.
You have? How'd that work out for you?
Pretty well, actually. Yeah? Pretty well.
Cool. Funny enough, Daysean wouldn't mind having a Tybalt of his own. Draw and discard.
True story, bro. True story. Okay, so we see a Lingering Souls flashback there.
Yeah.
Land for the turn.
Overgrown Tomb tap. So again, Daysean was planning out his turns ahead of time, knew he was going to be flashing it back and playing that tap, so
Tybalt's sticking around. Decides Daysean's hand is not big enough.
Well, isn't the hit you -4?
It's actually, I believe it's -3. I could be wrong on that.
Okay, alright.
But I think it's -3.
We'll
because
find
you can
out
+1 and then zap them right away.
Really? Wow.
So
yeah, well, you would know. You played with it in Limited.
Yeah, all of once.
All of once, which is infinitely more times than I've played with it in Limited.
Okay, so Steven discards a land, and we see Shred Freak, and we're getting in there.
He double blocks a Strongfolk Noble, which is a fine play.
I like that block.
Yeah, because you probably have more Lingering Souls.
We just got confirmation Tybalt's Second ability is -4.
-4.
I'd tip my hat to you, sir, but I haven't got a hat.
I have fairly good card text recall.
That's reasonable. All right, we see Huntmaster come down.
Yep. Which is very good for Daysean.
Yep.
Like
Looks like Daysean drew another land. Not exactly what he's looking for here. But
no, but is that a Grizzly Salvage in his hand?
that is a Grizzly Salvage.
One of the potentially the best spell in the deck.
Right.
That spell is an amazing enabler, amazing versatility. You can get a Thragtusk, you can get a land.
So we see a wolf token getting rolled.
And
Cash.
and potentially getting rolled in combat pretty soon here.
Do you see a? It looks like he's lining up a little extra room there for something.
Potentially another Shred Freak?
Yep. There it is.
There it is. Coming in. What do you do if you're Daysean? Do you block with your Huntmaster?
I think I do not block with my Huntmaster. I think with that salvage in hand, he can pass the turn, shoot Tybalt or him, and kill a creature.
And now it's a bit awkward because he drew his Faithless Looting, which is going to auto cast. It looks like, and so he's not flipping that Huntmaster this turn. Drawing Faithless Looting, Blood Crypt, filter.
Do you like? I like passing there.
No, yeah, I agree.
There's
that's why I said it was a bit awkward that he drew the Faceless Looting, because
the only card that can really punish you for passing there
Searing Spear
is a Searing Spear. Well, he doesn't have the mana up for Brimstone Volley, so it's
well,
gotta
he
have
gets
the
to
spear.
untap, and in response to the trigger, he could use any of his instant spells. So it's a bit risky, but he still has the Grizzly Salvage to mitigate the loss of passing. That's what I was thinking about.
That Tybalt is at 6 right now.
Wow.
Tybalt's Ultimate in play. Wow. Not yet, but I don't see Daysean attacking anytime soon.
Tybalt's Ultimate is a threaten for their entire board. You get to gain control of all their creatures for a turn, give them haste, untap them.
Absolutely. EDH players would call it an insurrection.
Oh, well. I'm unfamiliar, but...
Insurrection reads, untap all creatures and gain control of them until in a turn those creatures gain haste.
What's its mana cost, Caleb?
Its mana cost is 8. 3 red and 5.
That is quite good card text recall you have there, sir.
Yeah, I'm on top of it.
Oh, let me see. Unbearer Rights. No, never mind. Sorry.
Angel.
That is Grizzly Salvage. I thought he managed to get an Unbearer Rights.
So if you're Daysean here, what do? You
take a land. I mean, that's
just
what you...
hope there's a Rights coming.
There was a Crater Hoof, there was an Angel, there was a Mulch, and then 2 lands. So
that Ash Zealot, pretty good.
Yeah. But Daysean's not strictly dead yet. Although Tybalt's Ultimate is when you're reanimating things, that's dangerous. I really want to see it happen. Just because I've never seen it be played
No, absolutely
before.
not. I was certain that Tybalt was just gonna draw some cards and then dome Daysean, but he's kept his hand pretty low, and so Tybalt is threatening.
You know what? And I actually kind of like that from Stephen Thompson, because that makes his reanimation a lot worse. Taking it up to the Ultimate.
We seem to have a bit of a discrepancy here.
What's the discussion?
The players are working it out.
Is it a life total discussion?
No, I think they both have... I think they're just... There may have been an extra card looked at here.
Okay, so...
Seems the issue's been resolved.
Shuffle.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Players have resolved it.
Situation's
Daysean
resolved.
draws.
Shuffled him right into a land.
Yeah, nice cut by Stephen Thompson.
Yep. Stephen Thompson's like, go ahead, bro. I'm okay with it. I'm just going to cut you into the worst.
So Daysean looking at his graveyard, and then looking at that Ash Zealot, assumedly with a frown.
Yeah.
What's his life total? That 11? Yeah. I don't think he has a choice, though. He has to flash back here.
Yeah.
And Stephen Thompson correctly triggers the Ash Zealot.
Yep.
And Daysean will be domed for 3.
Yep.
Going down to 8. Alright, draw 2, discard 2. Unbearer Rights. And Restoration Angel.
With that Ash Zealot in play, do you think that Unbearable Rights is actually going to be on time? I don't.
You certainly don't discard it. Daysean should not discard that, because you can hard cast it next turn, and he's not. Did he do it? Did he discard?
He discarded it.
Ooh, I don't like that. I mean, I feel like you should discard your lands and keep the Unbearable Rights.
Absolutely, because flashing that back is going to hit him
kill
for 3.
You. Especially with Tybalt's Ultimate online and ready to go.
I think Tybalt's Ultimate might be 7. I could be wrong.
Oh, man.
How's that memory of yours working?
6. It's 6.
It is 6. Your memory is on fire today.
Well, you got that.
Oh, the insurrection?
Yeah, you got that insurrection.
EDH.
Yeah.
Question mark. Daysean reaches over.
Looks
see
at
what
the
this
Tybalt,
card does.
Looks at the Tybalt. Looks at his hand.
Yeah.
Man, that is
that's
some technology against fights. It's like a Zealous Conscripts that takes longer to come
Tybalt's
online.
ultimate, literally just a threaten here, but that is probably going to be good enough.
Yep, so he pops it to get a 2/2.
Plays
and Hellrider, and Daysean scoops him up. Wow.
That is...
So we did see Tybalt's ultimate come into play.
Yep, as a mere threaten.
Lands, says Daysean. Well, congratulations to Stephen Thompson.
Absolutely.
Taking it down with some innovative cyber